I have my handy dandy recipe notebook, so you already know what time it is. Welcome to my channel. This is Minnie Moving Mountains. My name is Minnie, and this is my series called Minnie Meals. Disclaimer, I am not a professional chef, nor am I a nutritionist. I'm just a girl in her muumuu who cooks every night for her husband, so I can teach you how to cook, change up your meals for the week, or just give you something positive to watch. There is no fancy lighting. I just use a craft light. There is no fancy editing. I do this in one cut, and there's no fancy makeup or filters. It's just me showing you the things that I'm passionate about, which is cooking and baking, my weight loss journey, and crafting. Today is Thursday, June 18th, 2026, meal number 114. Today I'm making zesty ancho chicken, charred corn salad, red potatoes, and rice. So when I cook, I do turn around the camera because I assure you, there is nothing fancy going on here. I just want to focus on what you came here for, which is to learn how to cook. So let's move mountains together and let's get cooking. Here are the ingredients for today's recipe. Now remember, I just cook for my husband and I, so if you have a family that's bigger than ours, you would double, triple, or quadruple the recipe. On today's episode, you're going to need chicken cutlets, 3/4 jasmine rice, red onions diced, red skinned potatoes quartered, corn, arugula salad, half a cup of ancho chili sauce, cilantro finely chopped, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 2 limes zested and quartered, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of cumin. To your stovetop, you're going to preheat your oven to 450 degrees, and you're going to have 3 large burners on medium heat. To a baking pan, you're going to drizzle it with a neutral oil. This is olive. Add your potatoes, and then make sure to line them up in a single layer. And drizzle the top with a neutral oil as well. This is olive. Season your potatoes with 1/4 teaspoon of salt, pepper, all-purpose seasoning, garlic powder, and cumin, and paprika. Place into your oven at 450 degrees. My orange timer is for my oven. You're going to bake the potatoes for 30 minutes. To marinate your chicken, it's important that you use either I have a red bowl for this purpose, but do it in a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware that you don't mind getting, stained, because ancho chili sauce does stain. But I'm going to use a red bowl, but you can also do this in a Ziploc bag. Season both sides of your chicken with 1/4 teaspoon of salt, pepper, all-purpose seasoning, garlic powder, paprika. Flip and season the other side. For the marinade, you're going to combine your ancho chili sauce, cilantro. Now, I don't have enough fresh cilantro, so I'm also going to use dried cilantro. But if you have fresh, use fresh. Dried oregano, lime zest, garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, juice from half of a lime, and half a teaspoon of sugar. Mix well and pour over your chicken and set to the side until ready to cook. To a large pan on medium heat, you're going to heat up a neutral oil. This is olive. To a small pan on medium heat, you're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. And to a medium pan, you're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. To the medium pot, you're going to add your jasmine rice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper, 1 1/4 cup of water. Mix well so the rice doesn't stick to the bottom, and bring this to a boil. To your small pan with butter, you're going to add your corn and your onions, and season with 1/4 teaspoon of salt, pepper, all-purpose seasoning, garlic powder, and paprika. Mix well, and then cook this for the remainder of the cook, which is the same time as the rice. If it starts to brown too quickly, you can always reduce the heat to low. Once your rice has come to a boil, you're going to mix it again so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Reduce your heat to low. Cover. And my white timer is for my stovetop. You're going to cook the rice and your vegetables for 15 minutes. Once your pan is hot, you're going to add your chicken. My blue timer is for my induction burner. You're going to cook the chicken for 7 minutes on side 1. For your salad, you're going to dress it with a neutral oil. This is olive. Juice from an entire lime. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. Mix well and set aside until ready to serve. Once your chicken has cooked, you're going to flip it and cook for another 7 minutes. Now I added my potatoes, corn, and onions to my salad just for serving purposes to make it easier, but of course you can plate it however you like. Once chicken has cooked, you're going to place it on a wooden cutting board to rest. Once rice has cooked, you're going to fluff it with a fork. And dinner is served. Go ahead and plate. And just like that, you made a home-cooked meal. Good job. I'm going to turn around the camera so we can chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me on today's episode. It's truly an honor and privilege to be able to cook with you guys. For this recipe, it will be on my website, which is www.minniemeals.com. My long-form content can be found on my YouTube channel, as well as my Facebook at Minnie Salvat. My short-form content can be found on my TikTok, Lemonade, or Instagram at Minnie Moving Mountains. And for my, if you're looking for a car, you can find me at Minnie Moving Motors or Sunrise Volkswagen of Fort Pierce. Let's move mountains together, and what should I cook next? I'll see you guys next time. Bye.